You know, we all go through life collecting experiences. Some are amazing, and some are just incredibly painful. It's so easy to feel like those tough moments define us, right? Like they're the ones in the driver's seat of our lives? But what if that's not the whole story? What if something else is actually steering the ship?
It's a really powerful question to ask yourself. I mean, think about it. When you look back at a big moment in your life, what really has more power over you today? Is it just the raw facts of what happened? Or is it the story you've been telling yourself about it ever since?
So on one side, you've got the event itself. That's the external stuff, the things that just happen to us. But on the other side, you've got the meaning, and that's our internal choice, how we decide to make sense of it all. This is kind of the core tension we're diving into.
To really get to the bottom of this, we've got to look at a pretty radical idea that kind of turned everything on its head. And this is the Adlerian perspective. Now, what's so fascinating here is the history. Alfred Adler actually worked with Sigmund Freud, who was, famous for arguing that our past traumas basically dictate our present. But Adler, he broke away from that with this revolutionary idea, one that puts the power right back in our own hands.
Adler's whole idea is right here. No experience in and of itself is the cause of your success or your failure. The game changer isn't what happened to you, it's the meaning you build from it. That meaning is self-determining. In other words, it's something we actively create.
And this powerful idea, well, it was tested under the most extreme, unimaginable conditions by another key thinker, psychiatrist Viktor Frankl.
As a Holocaust survivor, Frankl saw firsthand who was most likely to make it through the concentration camps. And it wasn't always the people who were physically the strongest. He noticed it was the ones who held on to some kind of purpose, a reason to live, even in the middle of all that suffering.
Frankl summed up this incredible insight perfectly. Those who have a why to live can bear almost any how. What he's saying is, if your purpose, your why, is strong enough, it can give you the strength to get through almost any hardship you face.
So, what does this all tell us? It tells us that meaning gives us the endurance to keep going. Purpose gives us strength when we feel like we have none left. And maybe most powerfully, this whole process can actually make our suffering transformative. It can turn it into a catalyst for growth, not just something that breaks us.
Okay, but we've got to be really clear about something here because this is a common misunderstanding. This is not about pretending that pain and trauma aren't real.
Absolutely. This idea does not deny pain. Painful experiences absolutely shape us. They leave their marks. The point isn't that we don't have wounds. It's about what we choose to do with them.
And this gets us to the core concept, what Adler called self-determination. The idea is that, yeah, experiences happen to us, but what ultimately guides our life is the meaning we actively assign to them. The power isn't in the event itself, it's in our interpretation.
So you can almost think of it like a three-step process. Step 1, an external event happens. Step 2, you assign meaning to it. That's your internal interpretation. And then, step 3, that meaning is what shapes your path forward. It guides your actions and your beliefs from that day on.
So let's imagine two people go through the exact same tough time. Person A focuses only on the event, and they might think, well, that's it. This hardship defines my limits. But person B, they focus on the meaning, and they could say, you know what? This could be a doorway to growth. The event was identical, but the story they tell themselves, and because of that, their outcome is completely different.
So all of this, it leads us to a really powerful, really personal conclusion, realizing that we can be the authors of our own life story.
The big takeaway here is this. We are not just passive passengers watching life happen to us. We're active participants. We get to shape our lives not just by what we do, but by how we choose to interpret what happens along the way. The real power is in the story we decide to tell. This just sums it all up, doesn't it? We are defined less by events than by the story we tell about them. In the end, who we become has so much less to do with the raw data of our past and everything to do with the narrative we choose to build from it. And so, that brings us to one final, crucial question. Looking at your own life, your own hardships and your joys, what story will you choose to tell?